Welcome into the 2-minute drill here Inside the Auburn Tigers. Jason Caldwell and Mark Murphy from Inside the Auburn Tigers magazine, newsletters, and autigers.com. And Mark, there's some sounds of construction going on behind us as they continue work on the south end zone of Jordan-Hare Stadium. But other than that, it's pretty quiet around campus. No classes this week, Thanksgiving week, and normally that means maybe some extra free time for football. But it is all football all the time. It's back to a training camp mode almost for the Auburn Tigers this week, Mark, as they get ready for the Iron Bowl against Alabama.
Yeah, they've been going at it morning, afternoon, and into the evening. And, it's good, particularly for guys who, need some extra time in the training room with the, in the whirlpool or whatever to get as well as possible. For an Alabama team that comes in ranked number 1 in the nation, it's probably going to be a tougher challenge for this Auburn team than even Georgia was when the Bulldogs came in ranked number 1 a couple weeks ago.
Absolutely, Mark, you're right. And I think, one of those things you talked about, getting some extra time in the training room. I think it's important for this team this week. And obviously you look, some guys a little dinged up last week. Jeff Holland, Deshaun Davis, both those guys be ready to go this weekend, though they kept playing even against Louisiana Monroe. A couple of guys that are maybe question marks, though, Mark. Trey Williams, you got to imagine that Trey Williams probably wants to play about as bad as anybody could ever want to play in a football game this weekend. His last game against Alabama, but with those neck and shoulder issues, be something that they'll have to work through this week. And then Jeremiah Denson, a concussion from last week. Again, it'll be later in the week before they find out about those two guys. Pretty important guys on Auburn's defense. Yeah,
no doubt about it. Jeremiah Denson can really play anywhere in the secondary. He's valuable in that nickel position because he's got good instincts for coming up to support the run, but he's really good in pass coverage. And boy, I'd sure hate it if Trey Williams couldn't play because he's a senior, he's in-state, he hasn't been able to beat Alabama. He's been battling injuries all year, and boy, when he's been well, he's played extremely good football, Jason. And plus, he's just what they need for this game, a physical linebacker who's good at stopping the run.
Absolutely, Mark. Maybe the good news is that every chance Richard McBride has gotten, Mark, he's made some plays. He's really come on at that linebacker spot. Then for Jeremiah Denson, the nickel, with Javaris Davis being back, Javaris is a guy that can slide inside. You got Jordan Peters, and you have a guy like Daniel Thomas, Mark, who in this game last year played the nickel and came up with a pair of interceptions against Jalen Hurts. So there are some options on that defensive side of the ball, Mark. But you're right. This is a week, all football, one that they really, like I said, immerse themselves into football, and I think for this Auburn team, that's right where they want to be.
And it's worth it. They've got a chance to beat Alabama, which is a huge deal itself, and also go to the SEC championship game for a rematch with Georgia. And if they win that rematch, they're in good shape to get into the college football playoffs. So this is a real big game this Saturday at Jordan-Hare.
Yeah, absolutely. Every Iron Bowl is a big one. This one's especially big, and we'll be there to cover it and have coverage throughout the week at autigers.com. Jason Caldwell and Mark Murphy, Inside the Auburn Tigers.